ENIGOR and the Crystal Children, The End of an Age, is a tale set in the future past, on a parallel Earth with two moons, one much like our own, yet strikingly different. A mysterious boy-child, ENIGOR, suddenly materializes in this fractured world, devastated by endless wars, alien invasions, corruption, and spiritual collapse. With the help of extraordinary boys and girls, the Crystal Children, he sets out to defend the wounded planet and guide it toward renewal and awakening. Be aware, the names and places in this story may be different from ones on this Earth. Yet this parallel Earth is dimensionally within us all, the hidden world of spirit, myth, and memory. Enjoy the story.
Death of the Old Order, Chapter 1. It was the year of old, 2113 AD, on another parallel planet called Earth. The planet was old and tired. She was abused, forsaken, and left to bleed. 2,113 years since the death of Christ, nearly all the living organisms on the planet were under threat from man-made wars and natural disasters. For years now, the harsh winds of sands had slowly buried much of North African civilizations. Many landscapes across the Great Plains were dry and eye-blinding, with mirages that took deceitful forms. Numerous wars had wiped out many populations in much of the Middle World, Africa, Eurozone, Asia, and the Americas. The wars left Mother Earth in constant grief. In the Americas, recent hurricanes and tsunamis had drowned parts of states of America, formerly the USA. The salt waters of the raging seas submerged many islands in the Pacific, Ethiopian and Atlantic Oceans, causing untold havoc across the globe. A quarter of the Russian Republic had collapsed into itself while testing a new forbidden weapon, the ether bomb. The failed weapons test caused half of the Republic's living beings and infrastructure to simply vanish from the face of the planet, perhaps into some other dimension. The heavily bruised planet now warmed up to about 200 degrees Fahrenheit at rare times, and the floating icebergs from the northern Cascades and Antarctica became regular guests on the shores of the Caribbean islands and southern continents. Global warming from the 20th and 21st centuries was no longer the center of political point scoring, but a brutal reality of the 22nd century. Life should have been most fascinating on this parallel Earth, as it was the age of sophisticated scientific advancement. Robots had become sentient beings. They interacted with humans at equal measures. Flying cars were by this time the norm of the day. DNA manipulation had also been achieved, and people could live up to 300 years if they could afford it. Many humans had chosen to become part cyborg as they sought to improve their physical prowess. Life should have been conveniently easy and exciting, but it was not so. The madmen of world political power only knew disorder to be fuel for their privilege. Their hunger for blood was insatiable. And this time, much of the world was going mad as drums of war beat louder by the day. World leaders agreed to disagree on the future of their planet by fueling fires. It was clear to the people of this Earth that war was on their doorsteps, as a red line had already been crossed. Sadly, a grave threat of human and animal extinction was at hand once more. A day long dreaded finally arrived. A day of terror and tears was at hand for the planet. A world war between the East and the West was suddenly declared by the politrictians of the day. This was after much egotistic showmanship and political theatre. People across Earth were stunned, as they had been minding their own difficult lives when the news media announced the new story. They hastily ran into shelters for safety. They cried and prayed for God's grace as they entered their hideously moist underground hideouts. As countries now at war awaited the first missiles to land on their territories, something mysterious began to occur. As if to delay the start of the war, the mighty sun, which for billions of years had never failed to rise and warm the bosoms of planet Earth, disappeared. The sun simply vanished from view, and ominous-toned darkness engulfed planet Earth. Neither the east, north, west, nor the south could see the yellow star perform its daily dance in the sky. The unusual occurrence frightened everybody, as no one could explain it in human terms. People cried out aloud. They thought they would never feel the mighty sun's warmth on their skins again. The darkly planet now hummed a strange song, a sound that came from the darkness of life itself. It caused a great deal of panic amongst animals and humans alike. Animals everywhere let out screams of agony and terror as they too didn't understand what was happening. As if the frightening darkness wasn't enough, lucid ghosts, alien and Bigfoot creatures began to appear amongst human populations without shame. They taunted and terrified the faithful and non-believers, forcing many to fill up churches and temples for God's protection. Many people lost their minds and believed themselves dead. Frightened as many people were, those who were spiritually aligned saw and felt the energy of Mother Earth as balancing her inner core. Stars in the sky flickered in their billions, showcasing the beauty of the deep end. Multitudes of other shooting stars at the far end of space seemed to blow up and disappear, triggering a great distant light show. The mighty sun would remain darkly for days on end. It felt like eternity as it halted war preparations and human daily activities. As governments wondered and scratched their heads, the mighty sun finally made a slow reappearance on one side of the planet some 3 days later. The sun's reappearance brought untold joy to the whole world. People across the world ululated and sang praises of the yellow star. Others went on their knees and thanked the mighty sun for its return. As it rose lazily from the east, another strange encounter took place. Numberless unidentified flying objects, or UFOs, littered the deep skies across the globe. They caused an unusual infatuation with the heavens and paralyzed many Earth citizens with fear. The saucer-shaped flying things pounced about from one polarity to another like ballerinas on point. It was as if the machines of sci-fi imagination were proving their long-disputed existence. Cities all over the world reported seeing many brightly colored UFOs almost on a minute-by-minute basis. Like shooting stars, the flying machines crisscrossed the skies at marvelous speeds. Some of them were as large as big cities. Others were the sizes of football stadiums and jumbo jets. Countless others were smaller triangular saucers that displayed their rainbow lights and eye-blinding brightness across the sky. People located near the water areas reported seeing many more wingless saucers catapulting from the Great Lakes and oceans into the crackling clouds above. They shot out lights and abducted numerous human settlers with flashes of eye-blinding beams. Many human abductees were returned the following day or minutes thereafter without memories. Others were not returned, at least for much longer periods. It seemed the judgment of men was at hand. The long-hidden secrets about the nature of the universe were about to be exposed. Aliens from other worlds should have been men's greatest concern since they had suddenly shown up without warning. but men of politics only concerned themselves with themselves and their personal interests. It seemed mankind stood at the edge of itself, a crossroad of consequence. Life seemed to change forever as the secrets of the unknown unknowns revealed themselves in a matter of days. The ghosts, the Bigfoot sightings, the alien encounters, and the disappearance of the sun. What did it all mean? Was it a grave warning to humanity, or was it a great revelation? Only time would reveal what lay ahead.